Welcome to the Lidocaine Drip.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Jess, and we'll be your host for today.
And always.
We're not really organized on this podcast.
Not organized at all.
But we're going to have fun along the way.
You know, we're here to talk about what you may be thinking throughout the day and don't say, or what you do say and get in trouble for saying. That's usually what I do.
In all seriousness, we made this podcast to combat mental health issues in veterinary medicine.
Mental health in general.
And we're here to inject humor into the darkness of our lives.
Very dark, very, very dark lives.
So let's get down to it.
Let's get down to it.
All right, hey everyone, welcome back to the Lidocaine Drip.
Lidocaine Drip.
This is episode 6. We don't have a guest this week, but that's all right. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our guest last week with Josh.
Don't say his last name.
We're gonna call him Josh the therapist because we decided that's what his voice sounds like, or at least
we all need therapy, so
we all do. Yep, we all do. So yeah, Josh the therapist. If you want him to come back on the podcast, let us know. And he's not really a therapist, but he is a doctor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, he's a doctor.
Yep. All right. Well, I guess we'll start out like we usually do. So, mental health check-in.
Mental health check-in. I'm gonna ask you, ladies, first.
Oh.
How are you doing today?
Today was a good day. I didn't really do a whole lot. I kind of took the day off in terms of working, like getting work done outside of work, which sometimes you got to just do that and take like a rest day. So you don't, because part of my residency training, so I have what I do at work normally and, teaching, seeing clients, treating patients, doing surgery, et cetera. But then I have kind of a second job when I go home where I have to study and do, read journal articles or prepare for boards presentations, and it's a lot. So
I'm exhausted thinking about it.
I consider that my second job. So I just kind of took the day off from that today, and it was a nice day. The only thing I regret not doing is getting a nap in.
Oh, you didn't nap?
I didn't.
I knew you weren't going to nap.
I didn't nap. I ended up on an Instagram suck hole where you it's
an internet suck hole? A suck hole?
Yeah, it sucks the time from you. You sit down on the couch and you're like, I'm really tired. I'm just going to scroll through Instagram or Facebook or whatever your poison is. And then the next thing you know, you're like, how did I just waste the last 45 minutes of my life? And you don't know where you are. And then you come up for air and you're like, oh, I'm still in my living room. Yeah. So, that happened to me. And then I was like, it's too late to nap now. And so, yeah, that was my day. It wasn't too bad.
Wow. Yeah, you seem very refreshed. Like, you're done up today. And, when you have, a nice calm day, you just seem overall, in better shape.
Yeah.
Externally and internally.
Oh.
Perfect. Me on the other.
Yeah, well, how are you doing today?
I'm actually doing pretty okay. I got, 12 hours of sleep. I slept till 1 p.m., which was amazing.
So jealous.
I had my phone this weekend, and it was intact still today. I think I've been trying to go and do certain errands for 2 weeks, and I've wanted to buy new clothes because I haven't had new clothes in over a year. Mm-hmm. And I pushed myself to do it, and I sort of wish I didn't go, to be honest. It didn't ruin my day or make it bad, but it was just exhausting, the shopping. There's everyone out today, and then on top of it, it was rainy and cold, so the whole experience was not good. So I don't know if that, you ever have the whole mood of the day depends on if you buy something or not. So I went to the store and I tried on 15 things, and I went home with 2 sitting over there on my table. And I don't even know if I like those. So I think I'm going to start shopping online. And I just noticed that today Amazon is promoting on their website, they're having where you try it on before you buy it.
Oh.
And I was like, were they listening to me today? And then, like, showed me on my computer, like, how I didn't get clothes today. And I was talking out loud to someone, and I was like, oh, I should just buy clothes and, like, have them shipped to my house. It's so much easier. And so I was like, maybe they're in my head because...
Yeah. I feel like the internet, Google, Apple, Alexa, they're all listening all the time.
And they're all like names, Siri, Alexa.
Yeah.
I don't like the personal names. But anyway, so they're doing this thing where you can set a box of clothes that you pick out or ship to your house. You try them all on, and then you just pay for the ones that you keep.
Huh. That's interesting.
So I think I'm going to start doing that. But otherwise... I had a good week. Our rotation's done, so I'm on to the next, and I'm going on an externship outside of school for 2 weeks, and I get paid for it. So at least I'll have some extra money coming in.
That's exciting. What are you going to do with that? Shop online?
Well, I'm going to San Francisco for 2 weeks. I could probably use all the money I can get, because I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of nights going out on the town. And I'm
getting
sure
dolled up.
getting dolled up, and I also that's probably why I wanted to get some new clothes, but I think my plan is to buy new clothes in San Francisco.
Because it's going to be less expensive there, right?
I don't care about the money. I worry about little prices, but like the big ones, I'm just like, fuck it.
Just go for it.
Just go for it.
Yeah, go big or go home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, good. I think we're both in pretty decent shapes this week, right?
Yeah.
I'd say. It's been a while since we kind of gave everybody a stress relief tip. Do you have one you'd like to share with everybody?
A stress release tip.
Or relief, yeah.
I think I've passively been doing something a lot more on a daily basis, and I did it a lot during rounds recently, and I was unaware of it when I'm very stressed out, and it's taking very deep breaths and like yawning out slow. My friend Tori started doing that, or taught me that in class years ago, and it like caught on. But it helps. Like if you take a really big deep breath and then like breathe out and like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's actually the body's like natural stress relief mechanism. So anytime anybody like takes a deep breath and just sighs, or somebody who's sighing a lot, even dogs do this where they yawn or they just like and just like have that exhale. It's a natural physiologic like stress relief response. So
should we both do it together right now for everyone?
Sure. All right, let's just take a deep breath in.
I felt better right immediately. Like went down to my toes. I was like, I feel a little bit lighter. So now I do it literally like I just did it a few minutes ago. You probably didn't even notice. But.
I didn't. It's but that's the thing is you do it unconsciously, and that's just what your body needs to do sometimes to just like let off some steam. So
so that's my tip.
Just taking deep breaths and breathing.
Well, I do too if I'm stressed out about something. Then I'll just take a few.
Yeah.
Before I go and like punch someone. Like before I want to.
That's good.
Yeah, it helps.
Well, I actually, I don't know if you know this about me, but when I was in vet school, I did a yoga teacher training. And I actually taught yoga while I was in my clinical year in vet school. Or no, sorry, it was before that. But when I was in vet school, I did the teacher training, and then I taught yoga for a little bit. I haven't been able to teach any longer because,
you're so free all the time.
Yeah, exactly. All of my free time, right?
Don't have time. But side note, I'm going to interrupt you. I've wanted to fucking learn yoga for so long, so I don't care what time you don't have. You're going to be teaching me. Maybe we could do that before one of the next episodes. You could teach me 30 minutes and I'll talk about it.
Or if we get real fancy, we can either do an Instagram story or a mini YouTube video.
Yeah, you could be instructing me, and that could be the post for the episode that we talk.
And we could get Karen to do the videography.
Karen.
Oh my God. Karen, shout out.
Karen's going to Hawaii for a week?
That's
She has an amazing boyfriend taking her to Hawaii. Yeah.
Wow, I'm jealous.
Aren't we all?
We could go to Hawaii.
Yeah. We'll take each other.
Yeah.
We're both broke, so it works out.
Awesome. Well, that'll be a future goal.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, I'm going to San Francisco, so I'm a little booked at the moment.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a couple months.
Yeah.
But, so I guess one of my stress reliefs is stress relief tips is kind of similar to what you were talking about with the deep breathing and like that sighing out. I would always teach a little like mini meditation at the beginning of the classes that I would teach. Mm-hmm. And it was not necessarily like, okay, I'm sure everybody's heard meditation's good for stress relief, blah, blah. But you're all like, oh, I don't have the time or I can't do that. And most of us are actually scared to just sit there and be by ourselves and listen to the thoughts that are running through our heads.
That was like the sensory deprivation thought for me.
Yeah, it's like a chaotic place in there. Mm-hmm. Most of us have this, monkey mind, as they say. But I think just kind of being able, there's a couple of different ways you can just sit and take like a mini meditation break. So one is just going and counting 10 deep breaths and just focusing on doing like inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and then exhale for a count of 4. And just repeat that and take 10 deep breaths and then see how you feel afterwards. Mm-hmm. Another one is you can light a candle and just watch the flame flicker for a couple minutes too.
Oh, that's so soothing.
And then if you want to get real deep, you could just sit there and just like be alone with your thoughts or play like meditation music behind. But I think that that's something I actually do every night before I go to bed. Because it just kind of helps me and it's really not for a long amount of time. It's for 5 minutes at a time, but it just kind of helps me process everything that happened that day and clear my mind before sleep. And then I just, go into it. Yeah. So I think that's something that if you feel like you're curious, just try it. And it's a practice. They call it a practice for a reason. Nobody's perfect. You're not supposed to be good at meditation or good at yoga. Mm. It's just trying it, and hopefully it makes you feel better. And if you like it, continue with it and see where it takes you.
I think it's good to dabble in a little bit of everything.
Absolutely.
So,
good.
Maybe I'll start trying it.
Yeah.
So, do you have a LidoFacts for us today?
Oh, yeah. Do I ever?
You came prepared.
I researched.
Came prepared. What the hell?
I researched a couple LidoFacts. I think I'll share 2 because they're the 2 that stuck with me the most.
Also, I don't know if we need explicit. Are we really explicit? I think I swear like maybe 3 times an episode.
Well,
like, do we have to label explicit for saying like bitch rating. Or? I
think we do.
I'm gonna look it up, but okay.
I think we should. I mean, because then that way we can say whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, but then.
Okay. All right. So my first LidoFact for today, since we have to talk about this subject every single podcast.
Is it Titanic?
Yes.
Yes.
So, okay. A writer named Morgan Robertson predicted in her novella Futility in the year 1898. She predicted how the Titanic would sink 13 years before it was even built.
Illuminati. That's Illuminati shit going on.
Oh, yeah. So, hey, there's our Titanic mention.
Oh,
we achieved
really
that goal.
Okay, I can get that off my chest.
Okay, this next one is, I read it and I was like, that cannot possibly be true. And then I went down a trail researching it, and it sure is true.
It's true.
Okay. The chainsaw. We're all familiar with the chainsaw. That's like the murder weapon of choice in horror movies. And, lumberjacks use it too. So the chainsaw was invented as a method to aid in childbirth.
Oh my God!
By 2 Scottish doctors in the 18th century. So it was invented for symphysiotomy, which is the pubic bone, so the pelvis, where the pubic bone comes together at that symphysis. It was to basically crack that open and help with childbirth. Can you imagine?
Why would they crack it open?
Like if it was stuck and they couldn't get it out and the C-section wasn't invented yet.
Oh my God.
Or maybe it was. I don't know history on that one, so if that's wrong, but I don't know. But yeah, doesn't that like
that well,
like ouch. I read that one, and I was like,
that's just why I say I'm glad I'm not a woman.
There you go.
You know?
There you go. You can hear Mame jingling in the background, maybe picking up her.
She's been quiet every time, and I feel like the past few times it's my cat and my dog. But I guess this is why it's so real, because you can't in real life stop the dog from moving, or like the baby from crying, or the birds chirping outside. Like this is candid, so it's here you go. It's like, well, I guess I was eating food on the last one.
That's true.
So I won't put her down. Sorry.
On the pod one. Yeah, you had to take a break to open up your Cliff Bar.
Well, I have a LidoFact, and I'm trying my hardest to stick with an animal one. So this one has been brought up, this topic, like a few times in the past, like 6 months to me, or it just comes up in conversation about cloning your dog. So first off, would you clone your dog?
Would I?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the same.
Okay, well, not everyone... First off, you're going very smart into it, as you know about it. But yeah, it's not going to be the same dog. Yeah. Some people think, you don't think...
Genetically...
it doesn't have the same personality. It's not the same exact...
That's what makes the dog, is the personality. It's not necessarily their looks.
All right.
So yeah, no, I don't think I would.
I don't know. Look at my little dog. I would want to just see her, even if it had a different personality. She's a little nugget.
Look at your face right now.
Yeah, she thinks that I'm leaving.
She's like, why are you guys talking about me?
So, Barbra Streisand, a well-known singer, old at this point.
What does she sing?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, my God.
I'm just messing with you. Of course I know who Barbara is.
But I don't know what songs that she's... Like, I couldn't name a song that quick.
She's on Broadway.
Right.
Funny Girl.
Yeah, don't know. So it's $50,000. There's one company called Viagen, Viagen, Pex, and it's based in Texas. So if you have $50,000, which maybe I will after this podcast, we can do it to our dogs and let everyone know. So basically, the process right here for cloning of a dog, you have to take the egg cells from another dog, and then you have to remove that original DNA from the eggs that you take, and then you insert the DNA from the donor dog. And so those egg cells are reimplanted into a female dog who's a surrogate, and then, in 60 days, roughly, the surrogate mother will give birth to one of the puppies, and blah, blah, blah. So... basically, this article goes on to talk about, the cloning process. The dog basically is going to be just as, it's going to physically look as identical as possible as the original dog that you wanted to clone, but basically that's as much as you're going to get. Like, their personality is going to be different, but it's going to be different because of, like, how they're raised, which I thought was an interesting, like, topic, because... their personality is going to be based on, like, the researchers said that, if you don't live in the same home that your original dog lived in when you got the dog or had the dog, if you have different, like, family members, like, in their life, if you have, like, a different, like, career or environment or, like, anything that's different about the life the original dog had, then those are all going to be paths that, like, alter the personality of, the clone. So it's basically, to me, it's like, what... There goes the dog again. Basically, it's like, what's the point in cloning? I'm definitely not cloning her now. What's the point in cloning if you're not going to have the same dog? It's like if you just want to have a dog that, like, looks like your original dog you love so much,
Yeah. I mean, if looks is all you're after, I guess go for the cloning, but...
But so many people, celebrities and stuff, are wanting to do this now.
But they don't understand. You think they understand?
No.
Yeah.
But there's also, like, PETA coming involved now, saying it's not ethically right, and blah, 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 blah.
Started on PETA.
I should try to read exactly the thing. It says, since your house may be different from when you first had your dog, your lifestyle may differ, you are older, and what goes on in your world has changed over time. Your clone dog will also be different from the original. I guess I summed it up in my memory pretty good to that comment.
Yeah.
So that's...
I guess they, like, at least put a disclaimer in there, like, hey, it's not going to be the same, so it's really not a clone.
This was an interesting topic when I was on an equine externship, because the doctor was saying how it was like racehorses. This famous, like, farm wanted to clone, like, one of their stallions or something, but then it came into problems with like the thoroughbred racing. I don't know the specific terms, but like the headquarters of thoroughbred racing or whatever it is, and they were saying that they couldn't like any of his progeny couldn't be
weird
because he was a clone.
Clones.
So that's my LidoFacts.
Did we already talk about if you could have a clone of yourself, would you? I thought we did.
And I said yes, and then I didn't want to have to talk to them all day though, so then I took it back.
Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember if we had that discussion or like on air or not, but yeah. Okay, well, I guess that brings us to our topic. But before we get there, I want to thank all of you guys who listen to us, all of our listeners. We have some international ones, too. I think we've got...
Japan.
Yep, some in Japan.
In the house.
that listen to us, and at least one in South Africa and one in the UK. As of the last time we checked our
we're just going global.
Base. Obviously, the majority are in this country, but we like to branch out. So tell your friends, and if you know somebody who you think would think this is interesting, then just let them know about it.
Yeah, it's Hafu Vet in Japan.
Oh,
She's
that's on Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
How do you say her name?
I don't know if I'm saying it correct, and I don't even know if that Hafu Vet.
And it's spelled HAFVET and then
HAFUVET.
Oh, excuse me. HAFUVET _Japan. So.
And I think her page is really cool. I was going through it because she's a vet, I believe, in Japan, or a veterinary student. Finding her way in Osaka, and like all I don't know, I love pages that are like diverse in the images and not just like about one thing, you know what I mean?
Well, because as we talked about, veterinary medicine is part of our lives, but it's not our whole life.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Exactly.
We have interests outside of that.
But it should be part of your life.
Yes,
it should be. I messed up that first time.
I do. It shouldn't be part of your life. But
at
it
all.
really should. So... thank you guys for listening, and I recently spoke with my cousin Anna, who's in Colorado, back where I'm from, and she said she likes to listen to us on the way on her commute every day, and she's a nutritionist or dietitian who works in a psychiatric...
What the heck? We should be having her on.
Yeah. Maybe she'll...
You just said two different... dietitian and a psychiatric?
No, she works in a psychiatric practice. So she's a dietitian and works with patients that come in through that practice.
All right.
Maybe, Anna, if you want to come on and be a guest... let us know.
I don't know how it would work to do like over the... How do you do...
We'll have to figure it out.
Well, I'm sure there's a way to do it.
Stuff. Maybe when you're in San Francisco, we can practice and see.
Yeah.
We'll just
like
a quick
much free time, but we should do an episode from San Francisco, like with my friend Dahlia. She's like,
I love that name.
She's all about the crystals and the meditation and the moon tattoos, and you would fucking love her. Now I feel bad swearing if your aunt's listening, but whatever.
Well, I don't think my aunt is listening, but my cousin.
No, your cousin. See, this is how bad. This is vet school messes up your brain.
It does.
It really. It really messes up your brain.
Okay, so were we going to talk about this episode? We were going to talk about things that we love. So just like our favorites, we were going to just entitle it our favorites. So it can just be anything, anything in the world. It doesn't have to pertain to veterinary medicine, but what's something that you love?
Something that I love?
Yeah, like something that makes you like happy.
I love the clearance aisle at a store. I don't know if I got it from my dad, but me and my friend Laura, when I go through the clearance aisle at a store like Walmart, I could take like the whole time in that damn aisle. It gets me happy. If I see like a clearance aisle, like I take a detour right in and I get sucked in for, I don't know, it's like a time warp or a suck. What did you call it? Insta suck?
Time suck or
time, whatever you said. So, yeah.
So I agree with that. I love going into Targets, and the ends, like almost the ends of every aisle are like clearance.
Yeah.
I just love looking through like all of the things that they're like, oh, this can be discounted for whatever reason. Like it's a perfectly fine item, but you know, maybe it wasn't selling or something.
They're usually geared towards women. I feel like there's always like women's makeup and this on sale at Target.
If you walk through the homewares, there's like discounted candles or food preparation items, like kitchen utensils and things like that. Like there's always like you can always find something. I consider it a personal success if I actually make it out of Target with the items I only went there for, because that's a challenge of mine. I see these things and I'm like, oh yeah, I totally need
$52 candle.
Yeah, $52 candle, and I need, I know I already have one, but I need like another cutting board because this one's marble, and I mean, why not? Just like the way it looks. Yeah. Or I'm feeling down, so I'm gonna buy, a new lipstick or something.
Or wine.
Yeah, or wine. Yeah. Whatever floats your boat, right?
Mm-hmm. I also love, another thing I love. Mm-hmm. That was we talked. You ended up talking about what my favorite thing was. So what's your favorite thing?
Well, you can keep talking.
No, I'll bring it up for the next one.
It's a conversation for a reason.
I know, but
I love wearing lipstick, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but I love wearing like a red lipstick or like a bright pink or something like that. It just makes me feel like, even because it makes me feel like, most mornings I wake up and I'm tired and I'm not a morning person. And I'm just like, you know what, I need something extra today because it's just like, I got 4 hours of sleep. I need a little boost. Yeah. So I put on some lipstick and then I go about my day and I feel like a little bit better. Mm-hmm. That and coffee helps too.
I love, since you're talking about Target and lipstick, I love it's the peppermint, the blue little EOS chapstick.
Oh.
The peppermint is like my godsend. Like, you put peppermint oil under your nose, it can like make your mood enhance. I have like a peppermint oil, essential oil. Put it on your nose before like a presentation, or for like I put it on my nose when I come home from a long day, right before I have to bring the dog on the hour walk. And I put it under my nose sometimes. And so like it helps me feel a little bit more energized and happier. Yeah, it helps.
Interesting. I'll have to try that.
Do you want to try it right now? As I have some, you can let us know.
Yeah, let's do it. And then everybody else can maybe...
Tell them what else you like. Get a few in, as I'm going to interrupt probably. So
yeah, while he goes and finds his peppermint oil, I guess I'll talk a little bit more about some things that I really like. So this is a weird one, but we're candid here. So everybody knows like a package of tortillas or like a thing of like cotton balls or something, and there's like the little strip of plastic that's at the very top of a brand new package of those things, and you have to like rip it off. And it just like rips off before you can like open the plastic bag.
Oh God!
I love ripping those things off, and I don't know why. Like, that's really weird, but you put me on the spot, and now you're back, and I didn't know what to say, so that's what came out.
All right. Well, that was a nice one.
Don't judge.
I'm not judging at all. So you go. That's what I do. You put it on your finger.
Okay.
Drop on your. I already feel like happier.
Wait, did I get it?
You have to get like a good amount. It's gonna start. It'll feel good. So.
Holy energy.
But that's why I love I'm a little addicted to the EOS peppermint chapstick because
Burt's Bees.
It makes my lips tingle, and I put that on every day before I go in throughout the day.
Whoa. This peppermint oil.
Hopefully you don't have a reaction to it.
No, I use natural essential oils all the time. I'm
actually almost out. I usually buy it at TJ Maxx because it's cheaper there.
Oh, well. Okay. So, peppermint EOS. I like the way that chapstick is shaped because it's like a little ball, and then you like unscrew the little cap, and it's just like pleasing to like hold in your hand and like put on.
Yeah, marketing.
Yeah. I still, my favorite though is original Burt's Bees, which is also peppermint. Mm-hmm. I just like that. That's like that's always my go-to, my standard, chapstick. Every now and then, like I think right now I'm using a like chapstick brand I think it's strawberry flavor or something that Lizzie sent to me once. Like
Lizzie's
in a package.
great.
I know, I love her. And you guys would love each other, so
You played. I hope she's listening. And I knew you'd say that, that's why I said it. But you played that nice voicemail she left you for me. I hope you don't care that I'm telling this.
Yeah.
And just so I could hear her voice, and I was like, ugh. So she just,
Yeah. Well, you guys are like birthday twins.
Oh my gosh, she's a Taurus?
We talked about this in episode 1.
Remember what happened to me in episode 1? You're really saying that right now? Like, oh, remember episode 1? Yeah, I'm blacking out episode 1. Never happened.
That's true.
Yeah, okay, let's bring that up. But now I'm re-remembering.
She's the 14th and you're the 17th.
That's great.
Yeah, so you guys are both Tauruses.
Yep. Great people.
Another thing that I love astrology.
Oh, me too.
Not the horoscopes, but like astrology in the sense of where all of the planets are at the time you were born and the location you were born and how that plays into your personality and like the inner workings of your mind. And then when you learn enough about it, you can start applying it to other people's lives, and you can be like, oh, that's why you're an asshole. It's because you're, Uranus is in the 12th house and crossed with your Saturn moon or whatever.
It still
whatever they say, that was completely wrong. So anybody who's into astrology, I made that up. But I love to just get into that stuff, and it just for some reason makes me feel like more grounded, and I don't know, like I get out of
birth chart.
Yeah. So
I have mine. I just don't understand it all.
Maybe we'll go over it one day, or maybe we can like go to an astrologer and then do a podcast afterwards or something.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Or with them, they can talk about it. But then we're just talking about ourselves a little too much.
Isn't that what we talk about the majority of the time?
Yeah.
So what's another favorite thing of yours?
Another favorite thing of mine. I love to book hotels on discount, like from a discount. So if you go to like Priceline or something and do bid on your own hotel price, it's almost like a game. Like you can bid depending on like the area you want to like stay at, how many stars the hotel is, and then I'm missing something else about the hotel. You bid your price, and so it'll tell you like, oh, this has a slight chance of getting picked up or not, or like accepted, and so then you can rebid after that and like do a less of a star value or like a different area. I'm like thinking of like New York City, for example, where it breaks it up into like 7 areas. And so I know like the main ones I usually want to stay, but I always get hotels for like $90, $120, like in the city. I got them in New Orleans, like 5-star, 4-star.
Wow, well, that's pretty good.
I always do it. I've never gotten paid like full price for a hotel.
Wow, I guess I knew from like the commercials that you can do that, but I didn't actually know that like people did it regularly. So I'll have to try that next time.
Because it's like hotels that are like, it could even be far in advance, but they'd rather have their occupancy at full, like at fully booked than to have like empty rooms. So
interesting. That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay. One other thing I love is spa days, but like legit spas where you like have a robe and it's quiet and they have like a little snack bar, but it's always like walnuts and dried cherries or something, and then they have like tea that you can have, and you're just like, I feel so healthy. And my favorite is when they have like a little like jacuzzi or like warm pool that you can just go in, and then you like get your massage or your facial or whatever, and you just feel like, oh, I feel so relaxed.
I feel like a woman.
Let's go, girl.
I'm going. Wait, how does it? I'm feeling alright.
Yeah. I can't believe you just busted out some Shania Twain.
I
love it. I love it.
I'm very diverse in my song selections.
Me too.
Oh, music.
Oh, music.
Oh my god. I used to horseback, well not used to, I still do, but I horseback rode for like 12 years, and in Connecticut it's very like not very farmy in the area I'm from. So my barn was at a farm, and I would turn on country music on the way, and I felt so Southern. Like, now I feel Southern, but like, because I'm in the South of the U.S., but not to give an exact location. I feel like whenever I say a location, you like stare at me with like eagle eyes, like. But anyway, yeah. So I think I have different music for different things I'm doing.
Okay.
When I garden, like I had a vegetable garden, I would play oldies like Frank Sinatra and Ella Fitzgerald and like Billie Holiday.
That's great.
That was my soundtrack.
That sounds really cool. I think so. I guess I can't really say this is a favorite thing of mine, but I always think about how cool would it be to have somebody whose job it was to follow you around and play like the perfect music to narrate your life.
Oh my god.
Like, you're like, I'm sad now, and they play like the Titanic song.
Yeah, mine would just have a hint of thunder throughout the whole week. And then the song over it. But like in the background was like the rain. And very low.
Storm's coming.
That's a cool.
Wouldn't that be cool?
What, like, would you explain that a little bit more, like...
So, like, if I'm, going on a run, because I'm working out, having somebody there who's, like, playing, I don't know, like, Queen, We Will Rock You, or something, where you're just like, yeah, motivation, and you just, I don't know, it just keeps you, like, like, that's one instance, or when you're, like... something scary. Like, for instance, when I got in my car to come over here tonight, I was like, how freaking terrifying would it be if somebody came out of the bushes on the side of my house and, like, ran up to my car window and, like, scared the shit out of me. And I don't know why I thought that, but I did. But if there was, like, somebody there for that instance to play dramatic, suspenseful music, like, just so there's a soundtrack to your life. That's what... That's what I would, where I was going with that. I think it'd be cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So one of your favorite things was something that doesn't exist yet. Is that what we just decided?
Well, yeah, but
that's even cooler that you brought it there.
I called dibs on that idea, world.
Mm-hmm. I have ideas, but I'm not going to say them. I think that I'll just say it, whatever. If someone takes my idea, I don't care anymore. I think it'd be cool to have my favorite thing, since I love to sing in the car, to have, like, how they have carpool karaoke? Mm-hmm. What if they had an invention so you and your friends could, like, do karaoke in the car? While, like, so obviously a person driving couldn't sing. Hint, wink, wink. But, like, you know what I mean? If there was a microphone that hooked up to, like,
like in the car.
Aux spot in your car and you guys all belted out. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. Maybe one day. Uber karaoke.
Okay, well, we're going to have to cut this out. These are things we should be patenting. Well, that's such a good idea.
Well, let's start an Uber business.
I was in an Uber.
The Lidocaine drip Uber. Look for it coming to a town near you.
My favorite thing... we could have them promoting us on their labels, but... I was in an Uber last night with a fellow employee and another fellow employee, and we were in Uber, and we were having a great old night, and I was just, like, telling the Uber driver all about my life, and they were like, they don't want to hear about that, and we were all, like, bitching and talking, and then someone was like, they don't want to hear about our drama, and, like, the Uber driver, they fucking love that. When you're, like, a mess, and you're just like, blah, 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 and then you're, like, talking crap about people, like... Not crap about people, but like you're just like I don't know, whatever. I don't even remember what the hell we were talking about, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things to do, is to like be in an Uber talking to a stranger. I remember after I took my NAVLE, we were supposed to talk about our experiences in vet med.
We can get to that in a little bit.
After I took my NAVLE, I had to go to a football game, and I was meeting a bunch of like other residents and students and stuff, and I felt so bad about the NAVLE, and I was like, well, I screwed that up, like I failed. So I was with the Uber driver, and I was like, first off, you're gonna need to please stop at the Walgreens so I can buy a case of beer. And I bought the case of beer and got back in.
You drink beer?
Yeah, I love beer.
I thought you said you don't like beer.
Never said that. Okay.
I thought when we were recording last week with Josh, you're like, no, I don't want beer. I need wine. I don't drink beer.
I just say things like that dramatically, but like I didn't mean it like that. I just meant like for what my body needed
at that time
to unwind. It wasn't beer.
I got it. Gotcha.
So yeah, I was driving, got back in the car, and I was like, "Thanks so much for stopping." Like I just took my boards. Like I was like, I fucked that up and failed. And she's like, "Honey, I'm sure like you did okay." And I was like, "Nope." Like I'm going to. I started like drinking the beer in the Uber, and I was like, "Take me to the game." And then we got stuck in traffic. And she's like, I hate traffic. And I was like, oh, I hate traffic too. And then we had like a 10-minute combo. But yeah.
Wow.
I love bitching to Uber drivers.
Seems interesting.
Mm-hmm.
They should do a segment on that too, like shit overheard in an Uber.
You know what would be very interesting? Because I do Uber. If we had Uber and did like our podcast and just talked to whoever came in the car. And like you were in the front seat and we...
Like, wait,
you know what I mean?
Like, do you remember the show? It was on Discovery Channel, and it was called Cash Cab.
Yes, it's still on.
Do they still do that?
Yeah.
Like new episodes?
Mm-hmm.
Nuh-uh.
Mm-hmm. They had like a really famous female celebrity do it sometimes too, I think.
Shit, that'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it could be like that, but be like, oh, welcome, you're on our podcast. Please sign this release so you don't sue us later.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's okay. I think about all the legal.
Or pick up friends and just talk to them in the car once we have our microphone.
Perfect.
That could be like
once we get a microphone that works. Yeah, it's a good idea. Anyway, we digress. So, anything else you want to wrap up with the favorites?
No, I said a few.
We said a few.
Yeah,
we said a few. Not all of them.
Yeah.
All right. Well. Do you want to go first to tell your journey into vet medicine, like how you got how you got here today and what made you want to be a vet? And
well, like Josh said last week, we were all carried by our parents or one of our moms, and then we were popped out, and now here we are. So that's how I'm here. Stupid joke. No, my friend Brian was talking. He said a good amount of people are probably a significant amount of people are going to be students that are vets or residents or going to be vets or like veterinary medicine. So like we should talk and give information about ourselves a little bit. So I feel like you're looking at my hair like it's a mess, right?
No, I'm not looking at your
That's how you know I'm relaxed. It's like I didn't do it at all. And I don't care what you think it looks like.
Well, I think you just got out of the bath before I came over,
I
right?
did. Okay, well, thanks for letting everyone know.
Well, we already established that.
I know.
That's also another recurring
theme. I love bath
theme.
bombs.
Oh my god.
From Lush. Yep, I was going to bring it up, but they're too expensive for my non-income budget right at the moment. So vet school, why don't you go first?
Okay. So I'm one of those people who, you always get like either the vet school interview or the essay question on your vet school application. Why did you want to be a vet? Mm-hmm. And you get those people who are like, I wanted to be a vet since I was a kid, and I always knew blah blah blah. But I'm one of those people. I knew from a very young age. I remember as a child that I always knew I was going to do something with animals in some capacity. I would go out, and keep in mind I grew up in the mountains in Colorado, and I would go out and like wander around the woods like as a child alone. And I'd be looking for injured animals because I was like, oh, I'm going to save them, I'm going to fix them and bring them back to health. Like, I never found one because you don't, like, unless they're dead, right? And nothing's eaten them before, you got there. But I would wander around and look for these animals because I wanted to help them, make them feel better and, nurse them back to health. And so I always knew I was going to be a veterinarian. Then when I was 13, my parents took my brother and I to the vet and as a family, and we euthanized my childhood pet, who was a big white German Shepherd named Kimba. And I think I was born, and then a couple months later or something, like my parents got a puppy, and that was Kimba. So I grew up with him. Like he and I were born the same year, and we were both 13, and it came time to put him to sleep. And I remember after that experience, I was like, I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can euthanize animals. And it changed my mind for several years, and I was like, I don't think I can do that. I'm not going to be a vet anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll do human medicine. And then eventually I found my way back to, I'm going to go to veterinary school. So I did my undergrad. I didn't get into vet school the first time I applied. So that was at the end of my undergrad experience, and my backup plan was, okay, well, I'll get a master's degree. Did my master's degree, still didn't get into vet school.
Oh, you did a
the
master's
second time.
degree, wow.
And then I actually ended up, my master's was a non-thesis master's degree in biomedical sciences. So I got it done in a year. And since I didn't get in the second time I applied to vet school, I was like, well, okay, what do I do now? I ended up working as a veterinary technician for a year to get more experience for my vet school application, because that was one of the things they had said would improve and make me a strong candidate for the next application cycle. And when it came time to apply again, I was like, all right, well, this is it. Like, I don't know what else I can do after this third time of applying. So if I don't get in, then I guess I'm going to study to take the MCATs, and I'll go to the medical school route. Because at that point I was like so invested in science, and I was like, I like it. I want to do something. And then I got in. So my third time of applying, I got into vet school, and started the next fall. So I started in 2011, and then I graduated in 2015, and did an internship, a rotating internship at a big specialty clinic outside of Phoenix, Arizona. And then I matched for a surgical internship, and after that I matched for a surgical residency. So that's kind of where I am today, but I was one of those people who, like I said, I always knew I was going to be a vet until that traumatic euthanasia experience, which, looking back, it was, probably one of the first exposures that I had in my life to death. And I think that, that's just something that we all have to deal with at some point. So, that's kind of my story there. And how my veterinary medicine journey thus far, and I'm in year 1 of my residency, so I've got several more to go, 2 more to be exact. Yeah, so it's a marathon, not a sprint. That's what I keep telling myself almost every day. So you just gotta keep going, right?
Yeah. Keep going.
Keep going.
What is that? Keep on keeping on.
Yep. We should learn how to say that in Italian or something. That'll be the next one instead of eque okay.
Eque okay. Hopefully, if some Italian tells me if that's right. I think Josh confirmed it was right?
I don't know. I'm sure we could find somebody who's Italian or at least fluent in Italian to confirm
I'm sure. They're everywhere.
Do you want to share your veterinary journey?
Mine, I guess so, yeah. I guess. No, I was going to ask you to elaborate for people, too. Like, how many schools did you apply to, like, would you say? Because, I applied to, maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah, I think I did something around there the first time or so, but I knew I wanted to go to Colorado State. And because it was close to home. I got in-state tuition, and it was, just where I wanted to go. I wasn't brave enough to branch out and apply to other schools beyond after that first year or 2. I think the first year, I applied maybe 6 or 7. The second year, maybe 4 or 5 at most, and then the last one, I was like, I think I did 2 or 3. So, to be fair, I didn't apply to all of them, but I kind of knew where I didn't want to go and kind of stuck to what I was comfortable with, which isn't always the best strategy to get what you want.
Yeah, exactly. But you still got what you wanted.
Yeah.
So.
I guess, in the end.
Yeah, in the end.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I don't know what I'm going to say. So, just take a nice deep breath like I do. So I went to undergrad and got a degree in biology, and I started off I was never the best grade person at all, ever. I don't think I studied ever in undergrad. I was just like winged it and like I got the degree and I did good, except in chemistry.
Chemistry is the bane of my existence.
Yeah, so that's what held me back for years. So I did undergrad. I thought it was most important to get experience while I was like before I applied. So then I worked during undergrad. I worked at an emergency hospital for 4 years, and I think that negatively affected my chemistry grades because I would be at, like, I was a technician and I would work till like 2 a.m. and then I had an 8 a.m. like organic chemistry lab. Mm-hmm. So like I did not do good in organic chemistry, and like I think it was a combo of no sleep and not being able to study as I was working and then working. So I applied one round and like didn't get in, and I was just like, okay, well, here we go. But I'm more of a type of personality, like I'll just like let it piss me off and get depressed for like an hour, and then I'll like drag my body off the bed and I'll be like, okay, get yourself together and like move on with your day. So I did that for round 1, and then I did that for round 2 the next time. But then next time was like, I think like 2 years later. Maybe I didn't even apply the next year. But I started working at a different clinic, a daytime clinic, for another like 4 years to get more experience. And let's be honest, they do not care about experience at like admissions. Yeah. Like maybe to make you better even more, but like they care about your damn grades.
Yeah, they say it, but they don't mean it.
They don't give a shit. So everyone out there, like if you like can get better grades or get experience, do good grades. That's all they care about.
Yeah, but on the other hand,
it's good to know what you're getting yourself into.
On the other hand, I'm a big proponent of, going after and getting real world experience, because that and seeing how other people react to certain situations, like communicating with a difficult client, mm-hmm. or how you deal with an emergency and the things that actually mm-hmm. need to be done. You can't teach that in a classroom. So I think actually getting experience, in my opinion, is more valuable because anybody can read a book and anybody can memorize information, but it's the not the recall, it's that experience and being able to say, okay, well, I was involved with this one case one time, or I saw somebody do this and this is how I mm-hmm. do it. So I think that there's a lot to be said for the value of experience.
Yeah. No, definitely get experience, but like I could have worked part-time instead of full-time and then got better grades and had a combo and been a better candidate to maybe get accepted the first time versus, there's always extremes. I think it's just a good balance of everything. If I were to do it differently, I would have worked less, maybe worked at a daytime practice getting experience, and then focused on my grades more. But who knows what the schools are like looking for in general. They're all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They all have their different like criteria and preferences in in-state versus out-state, but...
And I think it's based on the pool that they have, mm-hmm. the pool of applicants too. So it's very variable.
So yeah, I didn't get in the second time, and then the third time I'd finished my degree. I've been working for a few years, and then I got into a Caribbean veterinary school.
Yeah.
Which was like probably the best choice for me in the end, because I get so distracted with people and like hanging out with friends and like Target and Walmart and like, Starbucks, like every other stupid store that you can go to like in America that mm-hmm. I don't know if I would have like gotten through vet school had I been here. So and you think, oh, there's beaches and like you're in a tropical paradise, but like that's all you have is like the beach and like some bars and restaurants, and like that's it.
Yep.
That's all you got. It's not like there's that much to get distracted on.
There is no Target. There is no Walmart.
Yeah. There's like one grocery store, but we'll have to talk about all that at a later.
Yeah, I was just thinking maybe we could do like Tales from the Island
mm-hmm.
or something.
Oh.
We could have other
mm-hmm.
Caribbean school students on as guests, maybe.
I have a lot of Caribbean students. I love that you say Caribbean. When I say Caribbean.
Caribbean. So, Pirates of the...
But are they the ones that said how to say it?
Well, how do you say it?
Well, you're saying that's how you say it just because this movie told you to say it like that. So that's all of society. They're telling us how to think.
Maybe that's where I grew up.
The Caribbean?
No. Since I grew up in Colorado.
No, I know. I don't know. I even know really how to say it.
I say Caribbean. I think it's tomato, right?
I thought you were just saying I was wrong.
No. I was just saying, how do you say it?
I think it's interesting how you say it versus I say it. Yeah. Just based off of where I grew up and you did.
Yeah.
I say Caribbean.
Okay. That's all right.
But it's not Pirates of the Caribbean, so I don't know.
Well, who knows?
Who cares?
Who cares?
That's true. Who cares?
Assess
was assess.
Okay, well, on that note, do we want to do rapid fire questions?
We could do a few questions.
Okay.
Let's see. Ask me one.
What is the one topping on pizza that you will not allow?
Oh, fish. What is it called? What's
anchovies?
Yeah. I tried to make my own sound effect. Like, what the heck?
Good call. How? Oh, okay.
That was a good question. So, did I ever ask you what's your ideal place to visit in the world?
Oh, my ideal place, like where I would go right now?
Yeah, if you had unlimited amounts of money, 5-star or whatever, unless you wanted to sleep in a tent,
So I would love to go to Peru. I want to go to Machu Picchu. But I also have, so this is like a side note, I have to get to 2 more continents to get to all 7 in the world.
There's the dog again. Just
Mame agrees with that.
We're
She
not
wants to come.
Her.
She wants to come to Peru too. So I need to still make it to South America and Antarctica, and then I'll have all 7 continents. So.
Is Antarctica? I thought you couldn't go to Antarctica anymore. It's like we were talking about this the other day. We were
do a cruise.
We were talking about on my rotation. The students were talking about Illuminati and conspiracy theories and Antarctica and the South Pole and there's all things about how they're government entrances to the center of the earth and stuff. We're gonna have to look it up. It's very interesting.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess to answer the question, I would go hike Machu Picchu, the Incan Trail.
I want to go so bad.
Or I really want to climb Kilimanjaro.
Go to Machu Picchu.
Well, I want to do both.
I know, but
I would go there first. Yeah.
Someone told me they on and off they'll close it or say they're gonna close it forever. The steps, as there's so many problems. So I better get there before they close it, or I'm gonna have a big problem.
Okay. What's the last thing you ate?
The last thing I ate?
Yeah.
The last thing I ate, well, what if I drank it? Does that count if it was food?
No.
The last thing I ate would have been, I had chicken, and I made this protein blend, it's that, one of those freezer bags. It has 15 grams of protein, but it's actually edamame and rice and couscous and something else.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It's in the blue bag.
Yeah, they're blue.
Yeah. And it's seasoned and flavored and stuff. Those are delicious.
Yeah, I get 2 of them a week, and then I have one over 2 nights. But I had that, and then I had a salad.
Oh, that's very healthy.
That's what I have every night, though. And then you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna bring over a pizza in 30 minutes." I'm like, "Why couldn't you have just said that 20 minutes ago?" And after I ate the food, I was like, "This sucked so bad." It was I have it every day, and then you were like. And then I was when you're you get up in the morning, you're I can't wait to think about when I go to bed again.
Yeah.
I think about when we can make that happen again. Where you'll be okay, let's do pizza. So I'm thinking about what day this week I'll be free that we can get pizza and record because now I'm pissed. All
right, this should be the last question, so then we can wrap it up.
I know, but I never know what to ask you. If you could be, would you rather be a famous celebrity as far as an actor or actress, I guess for you, a musician, or someone in the theater? So I guess an actor actor as far as in movies, and then theater as in plays.
I would probably be. I think I would. So I've always said like my second job that I would do, if I wasn't a vet, I would probably try to pursue acting. So I would probably go with an actress. But I do like theater as well, so that would be fun. But I think I would do an actress because it's kind of like you use your responsibility for good, or your power for good, kind of like, isn't that what they say in like Spider-Man or something? Like, with great power comes great responsibility or something like that.
No, I don't really know that quote. But.
Yeah, I think it is from Spider-Man. But I feel like you could use that as a platform to be able to reach a wider audience and talk about, issues like mental health and stuff. So.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up better rapid fire questions, like.
But the point of them is you just think of them and say them.
Yeah.
So.
Very okay. True. Candid.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that ends this episode. So. If
you've made it this far, please like us, comment, subscribe, tweet.
Yep, we're
Twitter,
on
Toots, whatever you call it.
Toots. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and
I'm gonna make us a Tumblr this week.
we're on Instagram, Google Play, and Spotify as well. So comment, subscribe, like,
share with your friends. Share. Just share it to the world.
And thanks for listening. And until next time.
Let's get down to it.